What's up, everybody? This is Alvin with the Alvin Jr. Real Estate Group located here in the Dallas Fort Worth Metroplex. All right, so I'm coming to you guys today. Wanted to discuss this NAR, which is the National Association of Realtors, lawsuit that they lost here recently. What this lawsuit was about the 6% commission, right? So, not sure how it works for many other states, but how it typically works here in Texas, it's not something that's required, but what we have all been accustomed to is, and when it involves residential real estate, the seller typically pays the commission, right? That commission is paid to that listing agent. That listing agent then splits that commission with the buyer's broker's agent, right? What that typically looks like is the seller will pay 6% of the sales price, right? 6% commission on the sales price that the home is sold for. Typically, that buyer gets 3% of that commission from that listing agent's broker. So, this lawsuit is more than likely going to change the way that we have known real estate, residential real estate, to be done for many years, right? What does this change look like? Buyer's agents will more than likely be compensated less. They'll start to be compensated by their buyers, um, and that's how that's going to work out, right? Why? Certain sellers do not understand how it is a benefit to them on paying the buyer's agent's commission, right? So, is this a bad thing? It can be depending on how you look at it, right? Buyer's agents will be getting paid less money for the work that they do. That's a strong belief that I have. Will they be cut out? No. Will they be getting the normal 3%? No. I think this will affect more of the middle class buyers more than anything. Um, but again, like I say, it depends on how you look at it, right? Everybody's going to have problems, but we all have to come up with solutions, right? I think some of the things that'll help out is one thing is you have to understand your clients, right? Um, you have to understand your clients. Your clients you have to bring value to your clients, right? So if you are on the listing side of things, being able to explain to your seller why you feel it is important to be able to pay a buyer's agent, will your value and your expertise on how you explain this to your sellers will determine if they are willing to listen to you and pay that buyer's agent commission, right? One thing that we do know, the commission has always been negotiable. So it's not a standard 3%. It's always been negotiable. But it's going to be left up to you as a seller's agent to be able to explain why you feel it is important for that buyer's agent to be able to get whatever you guys come to an agreement on as far as what you're going to compensate them and how that directly affects the amount of time that their property sits on the market, the amount of viewers that they have, and so forth and so forth, right? Now, another thing that I want to address in regards to this, some of the effects that it will have on the industry. We're going to lose a lot of agents. Why will we lose a lot of agents, right? Unfortunately, we have a lot of agents in the business who don't know how to actually bring value to their clients. They know how to sell a house, and that's pretty much it. Guys, that is not bringing value, right? So if you don't know how to bring value to your clients, then should you really even be getting paid, right? Yes, you get compensated for showing houses, for writing a contract, but there's much more to a real estate transaction than just that. But that is not the end of the road, right? So you cannot think of it like it is the end of the road, because there's many different ways that you're able to possibly get paid what you feel that you deserve from these residential real estate sales, right? Which is, one thing is having a real conversation with your buyers up front, having them to sign a buyer's rep agreement to get them committed to you, right? With the amount of work that you do as an agent, we should be having our buyers to sign a buyer's rep agreement up front and properly explaining the things to them that, hey, look, I may not be compensated from the listing agent's brokerage, depending on what property you choose. If in fact I am not, you will be responsible for the remainder of my commission, which I'm going to set at this price, right? Setting these clear expectations up front can go a long way, right? Working with people who want to work with you, right? Some people are not, those people who are not ready to commit to you as an agent, maybe you should rethink working with them, okay? The second thing is get with your lender. Depending on the client's profile, it may be something that you can roll into the sales price and work that with the lender, the seller's agent, and the seller to say, hey, if you don't want to pay my commission, my client may be willing to offer this in regards to you compensating me that amount that they're paying over for the house, or even if it's not over, they may be able to work that in somehow, some way, okay? Though that's another thing right there. All right. So also, like I say, I strongly believe that showing your value and why you should be compensated could go a very long way. Yes, things will change. Real estate will not be done the same way that we are used to it being done, but that is okay. Things change in the world all the time. We have to think about the solution instead of the problem, right? So, like I say, just talk to your clients if you're on the sell side or the buy side. Explain why you feel it is important, right? Because if the buyer's agent is completely cut out of these real estate transactions, most buyers will be on the fence and probably not end up buying, right? Because they don't want to incur this extra cost, especially those in the middle class or lower middle class who are spending pretty much the majority of their savings for the down payment and closing costs in the first place. This may be another factor that would just make them say, okay, I am not ready. So if you're a seller's agent, just being able to explain those type of things to your seller to say, hey, look, things may be slow because, buyers are on the fence because now they feel that they have to pay their agent out of their pocket versus how things were traditionally done. Again, this is not saying that the amount has to be set at a 3% rate. Commission is always negotiable. But do I feel that the seller should help out? I'm not going to say that they shouldn't, but I think it does. I know it helps get the property sold faster, right? Buyer's agent, have these conversations. Make sure that your clients are committing to you, right? But that's all I got. Yes, things are changing, but things will always be changing. It's all a matter of how you look at it, which is going to determine, if you're going to exit the business or you're going to be able to pivot. Hey, if you guys got any solutions that you like to share or you want to brainstorm on some things, get with me.